Hey guys, it's True Pearce with GunsAmerica, and I am excited to tell you that the gun you just watched me shoot is the brand new Springfield Armory Echelon pistol in 9mm. Before I start telling you all the things that you absolutely need to know about this gun, I want to tell you though, first of all, that I am not being paid by Springfield Armory, and Springfield Armory did not give me this gun. So I shot this with an open mind. Perhaps even a little skeptical. I'm slightly jaded with as much shooting as I've done, and haven't seen a lot of real improvements in pistols in a long time. And so I found this pistol quite interesting, considering the things that Springfield added to that. So that's the disclaimer. Now you know. I'm not on Springfield's payroll here. So a couple things here. I'm going to just run over what's in the box. This is what the box looks like. It's cardboard. I actually prefer this because I don't like storing the plastic boxes. You can throw this away. Inside there's a nice zip-up cloth case, canvas case, that will hold your pistol, and you can throw the cardboard away. Also inside is a gun lock, which I throw away. And then there is a magazine extension. There is a mag loader, and there are 2 additional back straps with armorer's tools built into them. So I'll get into why you need those in just a minute, but that's what comes in the box. So the Springfield Echelon 9mm, I'm actually thoroughly impressed with this. I honestly didn't know if I would be or not, but I am. I've put over 500 rounds through it just this morning, and it has not had a single malfunction or hiccup of any kind whatsoever. So obviously 500 rounds is not 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000, but it's a good start, and I haven't cleaned the gun. I haven't put any lubrication on the gun. I just took it out of the box, zeroed it up, and have run it hard. It's hot out here, and literally it has not had a single issue or problem. So a couple things here. I'm going to just start off by telling you this is not a Springfield Armory XD. It's a completely different line of handguns, and in my opinion it is a much better striker fired handgun. So one of the things that makes this unique is it has what is called a central operating group in it. What it is it is a serialized part that contains the trigger, and it's a housing. So think much like an AR-15 drop-in trigger, except with a serial number. So the advantage of this, especially in a polymer gun, is you no longer have to deal with tolerances with pins running through a polymer gun that may torque or may get warm and change, or may not be the same out of the mold every time. This central operating group, or cog, is precision machined out of tool steel, so it's a precision part. The trigger pulls should feel identical on every single pistol that is made. So pretty interesting thing here. We've seen something similar in ARs. We've also seen something similar from the SIG P320. Now, if I was going to just give you my honest opinion, and you said describe the Springfield Echelon in a couple of words, or tell me what I could compare it to, here's the honest truth. It is as if Glock and the SIG P320 had a child, and that's the Springfield Echelon. So it's not a SIG P320, and it is not a Glock, but if you were to take the very best features from both of those guns, which are honestly epic pistols, you would get the Springfield Echelon, and I actually think that it likely improves on both of those. So serialized trigger cog housing that is inside the gun. So what that also means is not only is the trigger better and more consistent, but it also means you can swap the serialized part out into other grips. So it ships with a medium grip, and it comes with 3 back straps, a small, medium, and large. You can take those 3 back straps and swap them in and out of any of those 3 grip sizes, the small, medium, or large grip sizes. They fit all 3. This is the medium. I have fairly large hands. I actually loved how this gun felt. The other thing I want to point out to you is this gun, this Echelon, allows me to get a really high purchase on the gun. When I'm gripping this gun, the slide is riding just above my hand. It reminds me much of a Glock in that if I'm not careful, I could actually get some slide bite, which is exactly what I want. There's a good beaver tail here, which prevented that. 500 rounds, I don't have any, but I'm right up there where if it was any higher, I would. So, and just so you know, the reason that you want the slide to ride high is the higher it rides above your hand, the more leverage it has and the more it flips during recoil. The lower it sits in your hand, the flatter the slide stays in recoil. So I'm already really liking the ergonomics. The trigger has a blade safety in the middle of it, just like a Glock does, so that before you can't drop this and have it go off. In order for it to go off, you've got to depress the little blade safety. Speaking of the trigger, it is smooth, it's short, it's crisp. I honestly very much like it. I can't complain at all. It is not the least bit gritty. It's a hair longer than I would like it. It's maybe a pound heavier than I would like it, but it's not heavy. It's not exceedingly long. It's got a good, some take up, it's got a wall, and then a clean, crisp break. Very smooth is how I would describe it. And I had no problem shooting this well. The texture on the grip and on the frame is fantastic. It's aggressive. It's hot out here. I was sweaty. As you can see in the video though, I had no problem controlling the gun. It's not going to eat you in concealed carry situations or carrying on your body. There are also stippling on the sides of the frame and on things like the takedown lever, which is also interesting. There's even stippling out here on the end of the recoil rod. The slide is made of stainless steel, as is the barrel. The slide has some very aggressive cuts on it, but guys, they're not unattractive. I actually really like the way the slide looks, and they're quite deep, and they get deeper as they come back towards the gun here, so that if you want to grip the gun out in front, if you want to do press checks, if you notice, maybe you'll see it in some of the video, but I actually did press checks over the top. I did, because I have a light under here, it makes it harder. I actually rack the slide from the top, which is hard to do without really good serrations. It's got great serrations in the back, and there's also a ledge here that's going to catch your fingers and not let them slide off the back when you're racking this. The barrel, the standard model, which is what we have here, is a 4.5-inch stainless steel barrel. It's hammer forged, which creates fantastic barrels. They tend to last longer. They're smoother inside. The lockup is tight. Honestly, like, I'm just all the way around impressed. We have no witness hole in the top, which is fantastic, because if you're going to use an optic like I am today, those witness holes in the top tend to blow crap out onto the optic and it gets dirty faster. So what we have instead is that we have the extractor on the side that also acts as a loaded round indicator. So it pops out, and when it's popped out with a loaded round, it will actually show you a small amount of red. So you can actually reach up here with your finger, you can feel that, or you can look and visually see that there's a round in the chamber. This model retails for $679. It comes with a front tritium with a fiber optic around it, and it comes with a round U-notch in the back that is also a racker. So if you're not running an optic, you could rack that gun, the slide, on your belt, pants, tabletop, something, door jamb, whatever. Obviously, you've got a giant racker here in this optic, so you don't necessarily need that. The other thing is, the mounting system. So Springfield has come up with a new mounting system, which might be one of the most impressive parts of the gun. And essentially, if you look here, there's space in the back and there's space in the front. Most mounting systems require a plate, and they require the optic to be butted up and tight in the front of the back. You're stuck with one optic. This is a patent pending system that has like a smorgasbord of holes, and that comes with these small pins that lock into the holes, and they fit the different patterns of different optics. So this will handle over 30 different optics. And let me tell you, this is a Trijicon RMR on here right now, and with stock non-suppressor height sights, it co-witnesses 1/3 perfectly in here. I honestly could not ask for a better optic height or setup, and no plates. And Springfield's engineers tell me that this is the strongest system they've ever tested when they compared it. So this might be a reason enough, just this optics mounting system alone, to buy an Echelon. Fully ambi, so you can lock the slide open from either side. You can release it from either side. The magazine, the mag release is fully ambidextrous. Here's an interesting thing with the magazine. So it ships with a 20-round magazine in the box, and it also ships with a 17. And then there's an additional base plate in there to make both of them 20 rounds if you want to. The 17 fits flush with the gun, as you can see. and the 20 sits out just a little bit proud, so it's 20 plus 1 and 17 plus 1, which is great. Now, a couple things here that I've never seen before. These mags do not have traditional mag cuts on the sides, and they're stronger. They have deeper grooves in them, so the mag release sits up higher in the gun, and it actually, if you watch this, when you press the mag release, it actually pushes the magazine out. So it actually spring pushes it out, although it's not hard to load. And so if you've ever had a magazine be sticky and tight, obviously you're not going to have that issue with this gun. But the magazine lock is up here on this part of the magazine rather than on the side as before, which makes the whole ambi thing that much easier to do and that much cooler. Obviously, we've got a full Picatinny rail set up here on the bottom. I've actually got a Streamlight mounted on this right now, and mostly because this gun's brand new and there's no holsters for it yet. And so in order to run a holster today, I had to use a Blackhawk holster that mounts off of the light, but this has got a full Picatinny rail on the bottom of it. This is set up for a SIG P320. That's where this is at, and it fits perfectly into this gun and gets you just as tight as you could possibly be against the trigger guard. The trigger guard itself is oversized for gloves. It's nice and big. It's double undercut, which is something you see custom gunsmiths do. So it's undercut here, and it's undercut here, so that when you grip the gun properly, you're getting as high as you can possibly get on the gun. And then you've also got some slight thumb ledges up here on the frame to push against, and the gun points naturally. I will point out that I told you this was a cross between a SIG and a Glock. It's not a cross there when it comes to the grip. This uses a 1911 grip angle, which is how John Moses Browning and God intended guns to have their grip angle. So it points very naturally. It points exactly the way you would want it to. Striker fired. It's been super duper reliable. Trigger's been great. Guys, this is the first video, so we're gonna have some other videos. We're gonna do some accuracy testing. We're gonna go through a video and do some more with the plates and mounting different optics on here. We're gonna do a full suppressor test where we will get the threaded barrel model, and we will run different suppressors, and see how that works. Some pistols do not work well with suppressors that are out there right now. That's the basic gist of it, though. I think I forgot to mention earlier, the barrel is melanite coated, which is a really hard, slick coating. It's meant to be able to be completely taken down with just the backstrap tool. It's got that pin in it, and you can pretty much totally move everything around. Once again, modular, so I don't know what Springfield has coming next, but you will be able to buy 3 grip sizes. Maybe there will be a smaller, compact grip altogether for like a concealed carry version. I don't know. But that's kind of the story there. So I have 0 complaints. There's really nothing that I can even think of that I wish they would have done different on this gun at the moment. Obviously, we'll get some more rounds through it and maybe be able to give you a better feel for that. But as of right now, with 500 rounds, having run the gun hard, it's accurate, it's reliable. I like the trigger, I like the feel, I like the ergonomics, I like the features. There's honestly not much that I can criticize this pistol on. I think I told you already, the price point is $679 MSRP on this version. There are 3 or 4 versions. One of them is like a 10 rounder for states that don't allow you to have real magazines. But there's also a version that has the tritium in the rear, and there's also another version that has square sights and a threaded barrel for suppressors. So that's basically the story. Like I said, this is the first look, this is the first video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more, because we're gonna have more content on the new Springfield Echelon coming to our channel soon that you're not gonna wanna miss out on. Thanks for watching, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time here at Guns America.